Have you ever gone so long without saying a word to your family that you started to forget what their voices sounded like? Well, that's exactly what happened in today's story. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to World of Wonderful Stories so you won't miss any new stories. And give this video a thumbs up if you want more stories just like this one. Let's begin. Once upon a time in a big city, there was a family of 4 who seemed to have it all. A loving mother, a caring father, and 2 beautiful children. But behind the closed doors of their home, something strange was happening. The family had slowly stopped communicating with each other. It started subtly. A few awkward silences during meals, a curt reply here, a sigh there. But as time went on, it became a daily occurrence. The father would come home from work and bury himself in his phone, scrolling endlessly. The mother would sit by the window, absorbed in the news on TV, her eyes glazed over. The older child would bury themselves in books, finding solace in fictional characters, and the younger one would simply wander around the house, their eyes downcast. Then came the nights, oh, the endless nights that dragged on like eternities. The house, once filled with laughter and warmth, now echoed with silence so profound it felt like strangers were renting rooms in lieu of a family sharing a home. The younger child, too young to comprehend the distance that had grown between their parents, began writing letters. Hundreds of letters. They would fold the paper into tiny boats and sail them down the rivers of silence, hoping they'd reach the shores of their parents' hearts. "Please talk to me," they'd write. "I miss hearing your voices." Other times, "Can we be a family again?" Their small hands gripping the pen, pouring out their innocent pleas into the vast ocean of quiet. Their parents, lost in their own worlds, failed to notice the depth of their child's despair. The older one didn't realize the solace they missed, burying themselves in books to escape the silence that screamed for attention. The younger one didn't see the longing in their siblings' eyes, too busy staring at the floor. And the parents, well, they were too far gone, cocooned off by their own problems, unable to hear the symphony of silence their child was composing. Then one day, something terrible happened. The family sat down to dinner, but there was an empty chair at the table. No one noticed when the child stopped eating, when their laughter faded from the house. It wasn't until the silence became a stark presence that they awoke from their stupor. "Where's the little one?" the mother asked, her gaze flickering towards the empty chair for the first time in what felt like forever. The father, his face illuminated by the eerie glow of his phone, mumbled something about going out to play. The mother set her utensils down, a sudden clarity dawning on her face. She stood up, her chair scraping against the floor, a sound that pierced through the layers of silence that had muffled their world. She walked towards the younger child's room, her steps echoing her dawning realization. And there, under the bed, folded neatly, were hundreds of letters. With trembling hands, she pulled them out. Each letter was a plea, a silent scream for connection. As she read through them, tears streamed down her face. The silence they had ignored had been screaming all along, and they had only realized it when it was too late. The child had run away. They looked everywhere, but he was nowhere to be found. Just when they were about to lose hope, a neighbor mentioned seeing a child alone by the river. Looking really upset, they rushed to the river only to see him there. They found the younger child playing by the river, their small figure dwarfed by the immensity of the surrounding nature. As they rushed to them, Holding back their tears, the child looked up, their innocent eyes mirroring the vast sky above. In that moment, the layers of silence that had encased their family shattered. Back home, at the table, they read the letters aloud, each word resonating with the profound silence that had become their family's anthem. The letters painted a picture of a child's deteriorating mental state, a silent testament to the neglect that had seeped into their family dynamic. The parents held each other's gaze, the weight of their failure pressing down on them. The older child, their face pale, reached out for the first time in what felt like forever. And then the tears fell, washing away years of silence and regret. They cried as if the very essence of their being was breaking free from the confines of their silent prison. The house, once choked with suffocating quiet, now echoed with the release of tears, a cathartic symphony of grief and remorse. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the room, they held each other close. The silence was no longer deafening. It was filled with the soft murmurs of apologies, the gentle caress of forgiveness, and a quiet promise of never giving up on each other again. The feast had turned into a requiem for their lost connection, but it was also the beginning of their redemption, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a family determined to rise from the ashes of silence and rebuild their lives, brick by tearful brick. So I ask you, have you ever experienced something like this in your life? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to World of Wonderful Stories for more amazing stories. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. See you next time.